6:30.
Okay, good afternoon. I'd like to call this meeting to order, the Fremont Enterprise School District Personnel Commission meeting. I'll start with the roll call. Chairperson Mary Lou Ulloa, present. Vice Chairperson Harshdeep Nanda.
Present.
Henry Ann Yee, Commissioner.
Present.
Secretary Angela Bianchini.
Present.
Okay, so we'll all stand to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, do we have any guests?
We do not have any guests today, and let me just double check my email to make sure we don't have any comments. One more time. No, we do not have any comments either.
Okay, so we'll move on to item 5 of our agenda, approval of minutes. So we'll all review our minutes from the October 1st, 2020 meeting.
All right. Motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting on October 1st, 2020.
And I second that motion.
All in favor of approving the minutes from the October 1st meeting?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Minutes have been approved. Okay, so now we need to approve our agenda for the November 5th, 2020 meeting. So if you please review the agenda.
All right. Motion to approve the agenda for today's meeting.
I second that motion.
All in favor of approving our agenda?
Aye.
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 Motion passed to approve the agenda for November 5th, 2020. Okay, it's a very lengthy agenda. Okay, so we'll move on to Chairperson's report. I have no report to give. Secretary's report.
I can tell you that at our next board meeting, they will restart the discussion about reopening schools. I think it's just a very, very preliminary discussions surrounding guidelines. We did send out a parent and community survey, and so they will review the survey as well. Hopefully you are all getting those summaries of the board meetings, and I'll continue to send you that, but that would have information as well about what happens at the next board meeting. So they will talk about re-looking at timeframes on when it comes, when we could be coming back, and also it looks like majority of the school districts around us will probably not come back until after the start of the year, although every district's a little bit different, but no neighboring districts are quite back yet. So I think there's lots of talk or thoughts about the flu season and what will happen between Thanksgiving and Christmas or the holiday recess period.
And we appreciate you setting up those bulletins with the highlights of the meetings. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, those are very helpful. Thank you.
Okay, good. Glad you're getting done.
Okay, do we have new business?
No new business.
Okay, so we'll move on to number 10 of our agenda, other businesses. We have item A, working out a class. So we have the attached list. Would you please review the list?
Mhm.
Okay. Questions on the list?
Looks good.
Okay, so we'll move on to eligibility list. We have 15. So we have eligibility list 1, baker, 2, bus driver, 1, for September 30th, 2020. Number 3, bus driver 1 for October 20th, 2020. Number 4, child nutrition assistant 2. Number 5, cook. Number 6, custodian 1. Number 7, gas service technician. 8, electronic technician. 9, HVAC technician. 10, instructional paraeducator. 11, office assistant 2. 12, painter. 13, payroll technician. 14, personnel assistant 1. 15, school secretary. An action item, so please review the list. Are there any questions or comments on the list?
No, they look good.
Okay, so do I have a motion to approve the eligibility list 1 through
All
15?
right. Motion to approve the eligibility lists, item B, numbers 1 through 15.
I second that motion.
Okay, all in favor of approving the eligibility list 1 through 15?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. The eligibility list 1 through 15 have been approved. Okay, so we move on to item 10C, personnel actions. This is for information.
All right, looks good.
Okay. So we'll move on to item 10D, the recruitment report, and this is also for information. Angela, I have a question. So on some of these that are postings are, some have internal only. So are they all going to be for internal or only, or just those that are marked internal only?
Sorry, I just realized I'm on mute. So the ones that are marked internal only, we're starting our recruitments all as internal only. And then if we're finding that we cannot fill it internal, then we're posting it outside. So if it says internal only, then those are only staff who from inside the district, and only if we needed to go outside will we leave that off.
Okay, So the ones that don't have internal only, you weren't able to find from the inside, so they're open out to the outside?
Right.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, so then we'll move on to, is there another question?
Nope, looks good.
Okay. All right, so then we'll move on to item E, approval of the 2021 Personnel Commission meeting dates. And this is an action item.
Is the April one a joke?
What was that, Harshdeep?
I said, is the April one a joke? It's April.
Oh,
1st.
April 1st, April Fool's.
I was kidding.
Well,
Looks good.
Okay, I move that we approve the Personnel Commission meeting dates for 2021.
I second that motion.
all in favor of approving our 2021 commission dates, meeting dates?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passed. Dates have been approved. Okay, so then we have item F, to add employee ID 13872 to the paraeducator 1 39-month statement list. This is an action item.
So this is normally where I would give you the information. I can give you the background here is that we have an employee who had an expired employment documentation that they resigned in order to go and work on their employment documentation. Now that their employment documentation pieces have been they're renewed and valid, and this person would like to rejoin the district, and they can do that by simply requesting to be added to the 39-month reinstatement list. This person has already joined us, starting to fill in just as a on-call temporary where we need them, but we would like to place them back into employment. They left on good terms with the district.
I think that's okay. So motion to approve adding the employee number. Let me get that really quick. Employee ID 13872 back to the paraeducator 1 39-month reinstatement list.
I'll second that motion to add employee ID 13872 to the paraeducator 1 9-month reinstatement list. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passed. So the employee can be added back to that list. Okay, so then we have item G is the first reading to review the revised Personnel Commission rule. So we have an attachment that was sent to us. So if you want to open the attachment, you didn't print it out. So I'm going to open mine since I did not print it out. And so let me know when you all have it.
I have it open.
Henry Ann?
Well, I had it open, but right now I
Okay,
can't.
we'll wait.
Okay. But I did review the let me see if I can download it. Maybe that will work.
Do you have it on your iPad?
Wait a minute, here it comes.
So I will mention that the changes are to replace the pronouns of him, her, he, she to them, they, and their. That is the only changes listed so far in this first reading. And so we will do at least another reading. I did send this out to the bargaining units to review. I didn't hear back from them, so I don't think that they have any concern with it, but I do want to make sure that they had time to review it as well. So today it won't be an approval item. It would just be for your information to review.
Okay, and there's 17 articles, so yeah. So I read through it and I did notice the changes. You put them in bold. They're marked in bold. So do you want
Yeah,
us
I mean,
to start reviewing what, going by articles, or what
Oh,
do you want us
actually,
to do?
I see. It's listed as an action item. It should actually be information.
Okay, all right.
oh, okay.
And so this is similar to when we revise a job description, that we strike out any of the intended language to come out, and we bold and we underline any language that we intend to put into the rules and the regulations. And so that's what you'll see there, as Mary Lou mentioned, that the bold and the underline is the new suggested language. So today we would just, this is for your information only, if you get a chance to peek at it, but basically the entire rules and regulations have been gone through to take out any he, she, him or her, and then we replace them. And that is the only changes so far.
Okay, did you want us to review one of the articles now, or do you want us just to read them on our own, and then or at our next meeting, if we have any comments to
So whatever you all prefer, you can go through them now, or you can read them at your own time, and we can go back to it. If there's any questions, we can look at it again at our next meeting.
Well, I think since it's a first review and we're not really approving anything yet, and since Angela has told us what the change has been throughout the document, I think it's fine for us to maybe discuss, for me, my personal, um, you know, my personal idea on it is that, yeah, it's important to be inclusive. So I'm definitely for this change. I guess maybe we can all just take a look at it on our own time before the next meeting when we actually do the approval. That would be my suggestion.
I'm fine with it. I read through it before the meeting, and I thought it was fine. But yeah, but I think if we all read it again, and just if we have any questions or comments at our next meeting, we just bring our notes on those questions and comments.
Okay, I also read through it, and I do have one comment possibly, or a question, Angela. And I understand the intent to eliminate his/her and replace it with them, their, or they. Which I'm comfortable with that. In all of the rules that were presented. But my question is specifically page 8, where it refers to rule number 30.50, which is the general duties of the director, classified personnel. And they, in that paragraph there, the him and her is deleted for the pronoun they. So my question, and it occurs again on page 46, because it's a reference to the director of classified. To me, it seems that in those two cases where it's a direct reference to the director of classified personnel, that it's only one person. So it seems that it may be more appropriate to use the pronoun his/her rather than use the pronoun them, which in all the other rules, the changes make sense because they're referring to a group of employees in the classified unit or the SEI unit. So, referring to that group as a whole as them, their, they makes a lot of sense to me. But I really was wondering about using that change when it specifically relates to the director of classified personnel, which would be one person. Just a comment, in passing, I don't know, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. I understand what you're saying. Did anyone else have any feedback on that area?
Yeah, Henry, and I understand what you're saying, and I think it's more of a, it's a social commentary type of thing these days. It's based on the application of the word there and they. Although I think traditionally it was used to convey a plural format, there is a new application where it's being used for gender neutrality. So I believe
Oh,
that
okay,
is the intent. Yeah.
okay,
And I agree with you, Harshdeep.
okay.
So I understand what your concern was, and what you're sharing. But I think that may be the interpretation. Angela, if you want to confirm, or I mean that's how I understood it.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay,
Got it.
that was just something that, just alerted me, was the fact that in reference to a single person. So, okay, but I'm fine with it otherwise.
Cool.
Any other comments, or do we want to wait till we come to our next meeting?
I think it looks good so far. We can all
Right.
look at it during our own time, and then come back next meeting and actually do the formal approval.
Okay, well, or more readings. I don't know, how many readings do you plan to have, Angela?
Unless we hear back from anyone else with any other changes, it would be the first reading and then the second reading. And the second reading would go for an action item. Unless in between now and our next meeting, we get changes, then it will go back to our first reading. And at that time, I would point out what those new changes are.
Right,
Got it.
okay.
Okay.
So we'll move on to item 11 of our agenda, which is communications. And I'm assuming there's no communications.
Let me just check one more time since we're all here.
Angela, are these meetings still being live streamed as they were
Yes.
before? Got
Yes,
it.
they are. No, I don't have any more comments.
Okay, then we'll move on to item 12. Our next regular meeting will be on Thursday, December 3rd, 2020 at 3:30 p.m. And with that, I'd like to adjourn our meeting at 3:52 p.m. Thank you all, and see you next month.
Thank you all for
Okay,
your time. Thank you, Louise, for recording. See you
thank
all
you.
in December.
Perfect. Thank
Yes,
you,
see you
everyone.
all
See you
in
soon.
December.
And have a
Have a
nice
great
and
Thanksgiving.
happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yes, same to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.